Why is the silver price falling? Now, some of you may be asking this right about now, as you've been seeing the price just kind of maintain this very small range around the $26 level, high 25s, after we saw this massive sell off last week. And it's a valid question. Now, if we take a look at the near term, obviously with the moving averages, things aren't looking particularly great as far as prices edging up. But honestly, if we take a look at the technical analysis of the dollar, the DXY, things are actually starting to look like they're slowing down a bit too. As you take a look at the movement here in the RSI, it did hit some overbought territory several days ago, which is right around the time we saw silver prices drop pretty dramatically, which makes a lot of sense. And we're starting to trend a little bit lower, still somewhat high. And with the MACD, we're starting to see that it's starting to edge down a little bit more, which could help us out in the near term. But right about now, I think we're kind of in this limbo period with silver prices. But my theory still holds. This is the 10-2 yield curve. And what I want to do here is to give you guys some solace as far as prices are concerned. This thing is not over. As you can see here, the 10-2 is at the 1.23 level. Again, in the post recoveries out of recessions that have happened in recent history, we've at least gotten to about 2.5 before we start to see some reversion back down. We have yet to even get there. And guys, it makes a lot of sense. We haven't really even had a full reopening yet. So how can we expect the yield curve to just remain stagnant and continue edging lower? It doesn't make any sense at all. We haven't completely reopened yet. And with that, inflation expectations should be somewhat muted because of that. And in addition to that, as you can see here, in the middle of some of these recessionary periods, we had some run-ups here, some steepenings, and then we had some not sell-offs, but like fall-offs from those steepenings, and then it edged back up, and then it came back down. So guys, the thing you have to remember is that this yield curve isn't just going to steepen until we hit 2.5, and then it's going to come back down. It's not going to spike like that. You're going to have some up and down as we edge higher. And that's the thing to keep in mind, especially as we see the inflation measures, as we see many inflation measures continue to edge higher. Now, if you guys saw Jerome Powell's testimony yesterday, then you would have heard him say that the Fed actually doesn't watch the CPI. They watch the PCE, the Personal Consumption Expenditure Price Index. Now, they're somewhat similar. Their trends, if you take a look at them, tend to trend pretty similarly, but there are some differences as far as the baskets of goods and services that they look at. The Fed says that the PCE is a bit broader, and they are more willing to substitute goods and services that aren't included in, or that would remain included in the CPI. So for those who track both, they would look at the PCE as having less inflationary pressures over time than the CPI. But still, it trends higher or follows the trend as the CPI does. And as you've been seeing recently, it's been trending higher. Now, as we know from our research that we've done here on this channel, the CPI and silver track pretty nicely together. So as prices, or as the CPI edges up, and we can even say the same thing for the PCE, we should expect prices for silver to continue climbing. But even if you don't want to get that granular, just know that we haven't even fully reopened yet. When we do, we should start to see prices rise along with that. So don't listen to just what's been happening in recent CNBC headlines about inflation being muted. It's not going to remain that way. The business cycle is a cycle for a reason. There are certain things that you can take a look at that will be, that is repeatable, and that we should be expecting as we start to see the economy reopen from a recessionary period. So guys, in the long term, prices should continue to escalate. The 10-2 yield curve will continue to steepen. It's not going to remain here and then edge lower. It just doesn't work that way. And we should continue to see prices rise. Now, will it fall in the mean term or in the near term? You could say, hey, we're in this limbo period. Right now, we're in this trading range that was established by two previous periods here at the end of April and here at the end of March. And this is kind of where we're trading in. We're seeing the 250-day moving average edge up higher. And who knows, we may start hitting that as it comes down. If we start trending below that, I would be a little bit worried. If we start to see the 20-day cross under the 60-day, then again, I might be a little bit concerned, but I have a feeling that in the near term, we might start to see prices edge back up, especially as we see the DXY start to lose a little bit of that upward momentum. So guys, just want to make this quick video. Let me know what you think about the near term and the long term for silver prices in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're new. It's Black Bullion for goldandsilvertoday.com.